We had this is the first, this was gonna be the first one.
I didn't get an email. All right.
No, but you did, and then what, you took a break? We were doing them,
Yeah,
right?
we took off for the summer and then Labor Day and the Jewish holiday, so I kept trying to get it back, but last week was, I guess, was it Yom Kippur?
Yes, I had a closing.
Tony, Frank, have you done it?
Morning. I was at an open house yesterday, and I did knock on a few doors, but it started pouring like cats and dogs, literally. So that kind of like stopped me, but I did get a chance to. Yeah, I know I gotta motivate myself to do it more, at least twice a week.
So how many times have you done it since we did? You say just once before an open house?
Yes, with you, and then just the open house. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go this week.
The experience we had was good, right?
Yeah, definitely. It was awesome. It was.
What do I need to do to get you to be consistent to help you? Like, it's frustrating for me because I know it was at least I hope it was a positive experience, right?
Definitely, of course. I also want to appreciate you for taking your time out in the 100-degree weather.
He should. I always make him go with me.
Yeah, listen, he's a great motivator.
Yeah, I go all the time.
He'll get you going, let me tell you.
I motivate him.
The first, second knocks, it was a little, I got to get out of my comfort zone. But once you start feeling the vibe, when you start talking to people, you start thinking different. You start analyzing things differently. So, and you just never know. You just never know.
Right. So permission to hold you accountable? Yes. I'm gonna go through your team, Frank, because otherwise it's nothing's gonna materialize if you don't have consistency. Mark, have you gotten any listings yet from it?
I have not officially gotten a listing or closed the sale, but I had two really good appointments with I think could turn into listings, two older people who are both home. And then I have a buyer who that same day asked to see two houses. We went and saw the two houses. She was considering one and she's an offer. I'm not sure. I want to think about it for tomorrow. And I said, okay, would you like to speak to Jill, the mortgage lady? And she said, and this is a $425,000 house around the corner from her as an investment. And she said, no, I'll pay cash. So I've been working diligently with her to try to find something.
Did she tell you proof of?
She did.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Julian, without a last name, who's that? Julian, how are you, buddy? Have you gotten any listings are you doing it regularly?
Well, I stopped, so I gotta get back on track. So
okay. And Paul, good news, I hope.
Yeah.
How have your results been?
I have not door knock. I'm actually doing expired calls as we speak, but I have some. I have a great news. The one that I door knocked with you last time. I have been following Mary. Remember one that it was
Filipino
going to
lady?
Filipino?
Yeah.
Yeah, Monong. So I have been following up on her since, which is like 3 months. Okay, let me just give you a story. Me and Rob door knocked at home, which was like, what, 3 months ago, Rob?
Yep.
And she says, we're going to get listed. We door knocked. She opens the door and she says she's going to be relocating to New Jersey. And she also has a house in Filipinos, which was really interesting because it's like, I guess, Rob's influence, right? Yeah. And I've been following up on her since. And, sometimes you get to the point that you think, there is no point. But she actually picked up and she says, Pablo, I appreciate you following up. I'm going to be getting ready in October. I have one more trip to Filipino because of my mom is sick and I really would like to get it listed. But I have even better story for you from door knocking. I listed a home from door knocking in Plantation, which sold for 800. And I pretty much got to know all the neighbors, and I have been asking them, if they know anyone. And there was this older lady, she was like I spoke to the husband, John, and he says he would like to move to North Carolina. He didn't tell me where, but he told me why. So I've been following up. His wife is like, don't bother me again. I don't want to sell the house. My husband talks a lot of nonsenses. So when I happened to put the home under contract, which was next door, I asked my seller, who do you know? And he says, well, the guy next door passed. So I'm thinking, oh boy, here I go again. So I door knock her for like the 5th time. And she goes, come on in. And I'm like, uh-oh, I guess she's gonna kill me now because I'm here again. She goes, sit down. My husband really wanted you to sell the house. So I want to talk to you. And she apologized for, she says, so many agents been not door knocking, Rob. So many agents been calling her and sending mailers. So I asked, well, how many of them came in person? Well, you were the only one, but then you kept calling. So I just was fed up with this all. And it really does work. And you need persistency, you need accountability. Rap, I remember in October, it was a while ago, I had 400 doors I had to do and you held me accountable. It was really amazing. I got got 3 listings from it, but they were delayed. They did not come the months. They came like later. It's from those leads. So it really does work, but you need the mindset, you need your skills, you need accountability, discipline, consistency, and all of those.
And you also probably need a strategy so that I'm going to say this, and
Please.
you need to have fun when you do it.
Oh yeah, you gotta enjoy it, like anything in life.
Because if you have anxiety, it's not going to work, right? In other words, like when we go door knocking, whether it could rain on us or it could be hot as you know what, we're having fun.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you don't enjoy it, it's not going to be sustainable, and you won't be successful, right?
Correct. You have to enjoy yourself. It's just like going to the gym. You have to enjoy the 3 times workout, not just the results.
And the thing, Pablo, just to have a conversation, like Mark and I went door knocking. It was more than incredible. I thought, when did we go for, like an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yes.
And how many times have you gone after?
Well, then you called me and I had after, and you called me out on it and said, don't waste my time either. And I had to think about it. And I really was I was nervous and afraid, and I didn't feel that comfortable. So I said, all right, that's it. I'm going to do it. Because you offered to go again and 3 times a week. So I said, all right, I'm going to do it. And I've gotten so much more comfortable. And it's funny, it was something I was nervous and scared about, and I almost look forward to, like, oh, this is cool. Today I'm going to go out for an hour, and you get much more comfortable pretty quickly.
All right, but I mean, at some point, reconcile the experience to the results, and I'm trying to figure out how I could be a better mentor to you to help you get results without being discouraging.
I haven't gotten a listing yet, but I think the amount of contacts and the people that I've spoken to, I do think they're gonna turn and come through.
Pablo, how many listings have you gotten door knocking on your own in total?
I think 4, but they were nice price ranges. So yeah, but I have a lot of them like coming on, so they are like getting to. So
You have a pipeline.
yeah, you have a pipeline, and plus they also refer to you, those people that you door knock. They may not be necessarily selling, at that point, but they do appreciate that you are there doing what many people are used to from 20 years ago, door knocking, and they think you're the best thing out there, and they refer.
Because if you were to, if your mind works like mine, and you look at it, and in any particular neighborhood, I'm going to guess that 3.5%, 1 out of 30, is probably the baseline minimum of homes being sold to, maybe even, 1 out of 15 on a better experience is going to be sold in the next 12 months. Knowing that agents do a really poor job at keeping in touch with their past clients, if you're the person that's showing up, right, you have a shot. And then if you show up and you can deliver some value instead of just being, you know, annoying salesperson, right?
Mhm.
Get half of those, right, or a third of those. I mean, I can't imagine. I believe if Pavla speaks to the people that are going to be listing and has a conversation and they're listing in the next year, you got a 50-50 shot at getting that. Would you agree with me on that, Pavla?
I think you have a little bit higher than 70-30 because, yeah.
I mean, there's
70-30
some,
you stay.
there's some of them that are to their agent, and I respect that. But
Oh, there is not that much loyalty as you would think because the agents want commission and they are out. So I would say the 30% is those, out commission you and are loyal.
so Pavla has a mindset of 70%. If she gets to talk to him, that those should be coming.
And
Run-
stay in touch, Rob, and stay in touch and provide value because many times they need to fix that home, they need some vendors, they need some, they need a referral to move somewhere else. Not if you just talk to them, but if you
So the
stay in touch.
woman whose husband passed, you reached out to them how many times when you were told no?
Oh my God, too many. I was even told and don't leave her alone. I would say I'm not looking at my realty juggler, but 9 times because I knew the where and I knew the why. I just didn't know the when. So he was telling me what I needed to hear. And yeah, I guess I would say 9 times.
Gotcha. So Mark, are you and Pavla? Thank you, because I think this all goes into just the calculus, because I have absolute certainty that if Pavla gets to talk to somebody that's going to be listing in the next 12 months, and I'm going to be conservative because I don't want everybody to be disappointed, that you got more than a 50% shot at getting that, Pavla. And
Yeah, thank
then
you.
when you sell their house, you probably half the time you have a shot at getting either their buy or referring them somewhere to where they're moving, correct?
But then again, I think it's higher than 50 at that point.
Okay, but even being conservative, so like each transaction is 1.5 transactions, because at least half the people you're going to be, working with. Sometimes it's in a state they don't buy houses, so I want to be really conservative. So this is the way that you need to think so that you can have that consistency in doing it, right? So if there's 400 homes and 3.5%, that's 14 homes that are going to sell. The mission is to communicate with 400 people to find those 14 and get 7 listings and 10.5 transactions, because you're going to get some of the buy side on the conservative end. But to Pavla's point, it's not always, Mark, you meet him, you have a great conversation, and then 6 weeks later, you're listing the house. Okay. It's a game of follow-up, right? And it's a game of persistence. It's a game of time blocking. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you don't even have the report, like you don't get their information, because what I try to do each time I door knock, if I can be of any value and get their information, so I stay in touch. But many times, even if it doesn't work, like that little listing I got in Plantation, I just give them my business card and then call from that, because they may not be ready to give you the information, but they still value your presence and they call you. So
and Pavla, you may want, 5 years down the road, getting a call from somebody saying, hey, it's Mary Jane. You probably don't remember me. You knocked on my door 7 years ago. We're ready to sell. Like,
yeah,
those may happen, right? I mean, I wouldn't bank on it, but they may happen. When I started out my career, I did these home buyer seminars, and for like 15 years, I would get calls from people saying, I went to your seminar. You probably don't remember me, but we want to buy a house, or my mom needs to sell her house. And it was like amazing.
right.
No guarantee it's but I guarantee it's not going to happen if you don't take the exercise, right?
Yep.
Rob, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say remember the listing we got in East Rutherford from door knocking? I called him that day when we got home, because I felt it. You remember? At first, when he hated us, he's like, this is what you people do with your Sunday mornings? I was like, yeah. And he
Well,
returned, he was so annoyed. He's like, great, this is like, what are you doing here? But at the end of the conversation, he loved us.
He was like
And he
the
had a,
second, he was like the second door we knocked on a Sunday morning at like what, 9:30?
yeah, like a whole bunch of us, like a bunch of Jehovah Witnesses. He hated us. But then I turned on the charm. He loved us by the end of the conversation. I did not get, like you said, you can't get, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
Get attached to the outcome, and you
right.
can't.
And so if he was nasty at first, you could killed him with kindness, right? We turned him around.
Pablo,
And then,
like, not friendly, you just changed their mind. I
yeah,
loved it when you said that, Pablo.
he's right.
So
And
that
then we
was
got, yep.
that was a like a one-off. Now, we went out what, about 6 times, Heather?
Yeah.
Is that the only listing that you actually materialized from our door knocking, or is there more?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I made a lot of great connections, but I also do, besides, of course, our traditional door knocking, every single day when I'm in my travels, when I see a dumpster, when I see a garage sale, I follow the signs, an estate sale. Is that considered a form of door knocking?
I mean, it's prospecting, but not really door knocking.
Oh, okay.
It's target prospecting.
I do that like every day.
So I'm kind of glad that Fred forgot out, because I really would like to shore up our results here. And I'm not telling you to do this because I want to give you a goose chase, but I'm telling you this because I believe in it. I'm somebody that, if you're not comfortable, Amy, you're close by, you want to go and do it again, pick up the phone, call me if you want to do it. If you don't like it, that's fine too. But I thought have you followed up with any of those 2 people we conversed with?
I was hoping you would ask. I just a handwritten thank you note. And if I wasn't on my phone, I could show you what I wrote. It was really like thanking them, for not like slamming the door in our face and being so warm and open. And I said it was great to talk to them. And I included my seasonal. For the summer, it was flower seeds. And now it's spiced apple chai tea.
Okay.
And so we had those 2 good leads, and I sent them both handwritten notes with a card again with the chai tea. And
now, if you were to just give me your gut, like if they were going to sell in the next 2 years, what do you think your shot at getting those listings are as a percentage?
60.
And how many houses have you listed in your career and sold? But that's why, like, I really want to, get you to do this, because we're in a spot where we really need listings, and
I'm staying after them. And like Heather, I do the same thing. I even had my daughter in the back seat, but I pulled over because there was an older gentleman like taking out his garbage.
Yep, everyone. No one is safe from the hurricane. Everyone that's walking the streets, I talk to.
Also, I was doing like a focus group at L'Oreal, and Rob, she lives on Cooper, and I was like, ooh, Cooper. So I talked her up, and actually she's like, you look familiar. And so we think we know each other from the JCC from years ago, another JCC connection. So I gave her my card. I always have my card on me, but yeah, I'll pull over and like Heather and talk to somebody. And my daughter's 11, and she says, that was good, Mom. But, he didn't want to leave. He was old and set in his ways, but I wrote down the address, and I'll definitely follow up with him because he lives right near the elementary school, and he doesn't really need to be there anymore.
So Amy, questions, like when we ask, I want us to, our conversations really start with questions. Questions create relationships. Relationships create opportunities. Opportunities create sales. So if you just keep doing that mindset, having fun, enjoying it, and these were probably 900 plus $100,000 listings, right?
Yeah.
Not bad for a rookie. So
right.
Please, let's do it again, go with you, or if you're not comfortable, be a pain in the butt and ask me to go out again. All right. That's what I want to see. And I'm going to wrap in by 10 o'clock. So less than 6 minutes. David, yourself, have you not gotten any listings, correct? Or have you?
And Trudy and I went door knocking before her open house a couple of weeks ago. We spoke with somebody who invited us in, showed us around. He's not yet ready to move, but he's going to move south at some point. So he's a reasonable prospect. I was on Saturday with somebody who I don't seeing them again tomorrow night. So I've picked up a couple of potentials. As yet, I haven't a listing from it. But I'm not a prolific door knocker. I think it's easier if Trudy's available. Having two of us there, having a woman at the door. Maybe this is all in my own mind, but I think if a single female opens the door and there's a single male standing on the other side of it, it might be a shorter conversation. I certainly think you're not getting invited in, but with Trudy, then we weren't. She's here, by the way. Let me take the blur off. She is here.
So David,
I think you're more likely to get invited in.
So can I make a statement, David? Well, let me ask you this. How many listings have you done on your own during your career?
Well, in the full 18 months I've been doing this, I did 3 this year.
Three this year. And were they buyers that sold, or were they people that were in your sphere?
One was a buyer that sold. One was the parents of somebody that I'd helped buy, and one was a sale of a property I'd helped them buy last year. It was a couple who split up on it. So one was one referral, one repeat deal, and one buyer who sold.
So I'm going to say that you're extremely unbalanced with your buyer sides, and I'm going to say that's, but maybe it's a possibility, maybe it's an influence that the way your mind is influences the way people would behave or prevents you from going.
I actually don't mind. I wouldn't particularly want to do it on my own.
So David, some of the best door knockers that cross, not directly in my organization, but that I've run across in the business, have probably broken all your stereotypes. Okay. When I was I went to one of the events, they had some guy, his name was like Zhang Yao. Okay. He was a Korean immigrant. Okay. And didn't even speak English. And most of his business that he got during, like 70% plus, were non-Korean. He was very hard to understand, but what he was in it to both doing the activities and to like not repeating the same errors over time. So what he lacked in linguistics, he made up in effort and adjustments. So, that was probably you can believe where his listings came from. He was like the most successful person I ever came across, doing something like $700,000 or $800,000 worth of business in his second year, with almost it all being listing business. Okay. So I think, like I had in my mind, David, like people would be upset when I knock on their door. You have in your mind that if a woman answers the door, it's going to be awkward, and therefore you reject doing it. And some of us might have in our mind that there needs to be 2 of them. Again, I think that's our mind tricking us, right? Do you need 2 people to if you have an opportunity?
I do.
Well, but
I would, but I think that's a different situation, because you have an appointment. They're expecting you. I'd be perfectly comfortable going on my own, but having somebody open the door and I'm standing there, I truly wouldn't invite in some man standing at the door just because he said he's charming. I
agree with you.
But David, I don't think the goal is to get invited into the door.
But those have been my best conversations. Those I'm up with and going out, because they engage. Whether or not they physically invite you in is one thing, but in terms of engaging in that conversation, I just think it would be easier. It would be more comfortable.
Right. I'm going on record in front of your peers. Most of that's in your head and not reality. Because if you knock on the door and you're smiling and you say, hey, I just want myself, if you ever had any thought, if you knew anyone, blah, blah, you follow the procedure. The procedure is never, hey, can I come see your house? That's not in the script. I mean, if a one-off where somebody says, hey, funny, it's amazing, like you must have been sent here for a reason. I mean, looks like you'll have some of those one-offs, but that's not the expectation. The expectation is to build a relationship, right? And probably
Actually, I'm going to look out both of my mouth, because this I was out with on Saturday, and I'm out with again tomorrow. The very first time we went door knocking, you had to leave. I think you were going to Morristown, and I finished off. It was a woman who opened the door and invited me in, and now I'm out with her and her husband. So you're right in my mind, but I guess it's in my mind.
So, but you need to get listings to get the market moving again, right? I mean, the real estate industry is getting a gut now, and it's mostly out of fear.
But right, okay.
And I think if we fear about our intentions when we go to talk to people, it will be exposed and will be transparent, right? If we're just saying, hey, I just want to introduce myself, see, so that introducing yourself and asking them, see if you knew anyone that we could help. If you go back to exactly what saying real estate, the gentleman Phil, I forget his last name, but he's like, questions create conversation. Okay, conversations create relationships. Relationships create opportunities. And opportunities create sales or transactions for us, right? So if we just get to step where we have a relationship, we're way ahead of the game, right? If you have a good conversation, they don't know anybody, and then you knock on their door 6 months later, if that's an area you're looking to develop, eventually there's going to be opportunities, and eventually there's going to be transactions. So don't get discouraged if you stop at number 2 or 3, right? Because if you have those opportunities, like Pavla was saying, that's called the pipeline, and eventually sales come. Okay. And, David, you can have a conversation and as if you just wanted to see if you could help somebody. And it's not hard because you are genuine, right? Like, are you going to take a who doesn't want to sell and trick them to sell, David?
No, I don't think that's physically possible, but no, I would hope.
But your integrity wouldn't put you in that place anyway, right? So I just think that, your story, which gives you a cop-out.
Probably true.
And we're at 10:02. We're a little bit over, but about all of you, if you want to take me on a opportunity, if there's any way that I can, hold you accountable so that you can be more predictable in your outcome. Okay. And then sometimes I think to you, Mark, maybe you go through the process, but you never master the close, right? You never master the getting the business part. Okay. Because with the experience we had, I'm like thinking to myself that all day for a week, you'd have 2 listings. And I'm thinking that you probably felt that same way after we left, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I had 2, but yeah, I definitely was. It was pretty awesome.
No, but I'm saying
yeah, probably.
We did probably a little bit under 2 hours. We had a bunch of great conversations in that 2 hours, and I was expecting that one piece of business would come out of that at minimum. And I'm like, if you did that for 8 hours, there would be no question that you'd get a piece of business. So there's some breakage from our I guess our motor words, right?
Yeah. Not anything.
But I appreciate it. For hopping on. I'm going to try to figure out.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have 2 topics that I want for sale by owners and my networking groups. So we'll put, going forward for these peer-to-peers.
Yep. We'll do that in the future. I'll with you. I think, Heather, we're going to stick with the networking next week, and I'm going to try to, circle back with everybody here to figure out how to.
All my current listings are for sale by owners and from my networking group, and I have a lot. That's what I have now. But anyway, yes, meet for my business plan. I want to door knock in Roselle.
Perfect. You got both of those. Okay. I'll circle back with you today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye,
guys.
Bye, guys.
everybody.
Have a good day, everyone.
Have a good one.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.